Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing an acrylic overlay. The first thing I did was take all the shine off the natural nail plate, and then I used my young nail swipe to dehydrate the nail and take off all the dust. You want to make sure you take off all the dust off the nail plate because that can cause lifting. And then I'm using my Young Nails protein bond, and you're going to apply this to the nail bit 2 times. So for this set, the color I'm using is Young Nails Cover Pink. So for my overlay, I always add like a few drops of acetone into my monomer, so that way I can have full control over the bead. I'm just going to give her a little length because her nails are very short. So with the acrylic overlay, I try to go in with 1 bead and just work my way down to make sure I have a little length. And I just pull the acrylic down, clean the side walls, and make sure I create that square shape. What I can say is doing an acrylic overlay, it takes time and you have to be very patient because you have to have full control over that bead, because you're going to be molding a lot. Meaning you do not want to work with too much of a runny bead or too much of a dry bead. You want the consistency to be very perfect, so that way you can just keep on molding the acrylic to where you want it to be. So in her case, her nails are so short that she don't even have a length at all. Like, it's nothing there. So I have to literally create a nail tip without putting a nail tip. So within me doing that, all I'm doing is molding the acrylic into that square shape that I want her nails to be in. And the only reason why I skipped the ring finger is because that bead I picked up was too big and I didn't want to waste it, so I just put it on the middle finger. So as you can see, I'm going to be patting the acrylic down and pulling it down. I'm going to be doing that constantly, patting and pulling down, patting and pulling down, cleaning the sidewalls, cleaning the cuticle area, making sure you do not flood the cuticle. As for the tip of the nail, I'm going to be pulling it up because you do not want the tip of the nail to be super thick. So what I'm doing is pulling it up a little bit so that way I can be able to drill underneath the nail plate at the end. You'll see once I get to the drilling part. I don't know if it's just me, but when it comes down to short nails, I feel like the only shape that looks good is square. Like, you have to have a square short set. It can't be almond, it can't be coffin. Those shapes look weird when they're short like that. I feel like it looks more natural once you just get a square shape. And no, not square rounded edges. I hate when my clients be like, oh, can I have square and can you round the edges? No, girl, that looks a mess. I hate that. I like it to be a sharp square. But that's just me. So y'all comment down below. Are you team square or are you team square rounded edges? When you're doing your acrylic overlay, please make sure you're cleaning underneath the nail plate. Like, get under there, make sure no acrylic has fallen underneath, because it's going to be super hard for you to get it later on. So once I'm done with the application, I always go in with my drill first, shape up the nail, clean the cuticle area, make sure I seal the cuticle area, and make sure you clean underneath the nail plate. That's very important. Clean underneath it and make sure you thinning it out, because of the fact that you had to create a nail, it's going to look super thick. So you want to make sure you thin it out so it doesn't look bulky and the acrylic looks kind of like natural. So the key to overlays is you want to make sure that the nail plate look very thin and natural, because acrylic overlays are supposed to look like it's your natural nail, but we just put acrylic over it. So I won't be doing too much talking. I just want you guys to watch how I thin out the nail plate and make it look very natural and shape it up to get the square shape that I'm looking for. So now that I am done with the drilling, I'm going to go in with my 80/80 grit nail file. And this 80/80 grit nail file will really help you get that square shape that you're looking for. But you have to be very careful because it's a sharp nail file that you can like over file easily real quick. So you want to make sure that you're not over filing the side walls and make sure it's even. So if you got a file on the sides and you just kind of like count like 1, 2, 3 on one side, 1, 2, 3 on the other side, just to make sure you're doing the correct amount of filing and you're not over filing, and then you won't, because it's really easy to mess up your square shape with an 80/80 grit nail file. Some people really do not know how to control themselves when they're filing, and they file so hard that they file way too much, and you don't want to be that person. Make sure you're taking that nail file and cleaning underneath, because that's very important. Now I'm going to go in with my sanding bit, make sure I smooth out the entire nail, and go around the cuticle area and also underneath the nail plate so you can make sure it's very thin and natural. I know some people do not use the sanding bit, they just go in with the nail file, or they just go in with their buffer. But I like to do this because for me it just makes the nails look way more smoother, and I'm able to, you know, debulk wherever else I need to debulk the acrylic, and I'm still able to shape it up a little bit more. So this just gives me the final look that I'm looking for. And I do go in with my nail file one more time, only because my client wanted them super short, so I had to make sure they was really short, like how she likes them. Now I'm going in with my perfect white gel polish from Madam Glam. Y'all know that is one of my go-to gel polishes. So for my short Frenchies, what I like to do is I fill in the sides of the nails first, the very tip, like the corners first, and then I start drawing my smile line and making sure I do it on both sides and making it even. And if you struggle with drawing Frenchies, one thing I can say that helped me is I either do a matte top coat first and dry it in the lamp, or I do a gloss top coat and then I'll draw my Frenchies on top of it, and that will help me do the perfect French nail. One way I learned to get a perfect French is I always flip the client finger around just so I can make sure it's even, and then I double check again just to make sure everything is even, and then I'll move on to the next nail. This is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye.